G'day friends, welcome to today's YouTube video. I'm here, I'm ready. All the info you're going to need is in the description box below if you actually want to follow along on what's going on in this video. There may be 2 or 3 people that actually want to do that, I'm not quite sure. I don't presume to know what you came here for, but I hope you did come here for 20 minutes of me talking about my life and what's going on with me. I want to talk about all the things I'm excited for. I really hate doing, no, I don't hate doing this. I'm lying to you. I don't hate doing this. I love to hijack the voiceovers and talk about whatever I want to talk about. I just feel like I should talk about what's going on in the video. These are Daisyween Minis. There's a blog post that'll teach you how to do them if you want to know from the Instagram live stream that I popped up on there. The stamp sets are available if you are interested in those. The Daisyween books will be linked down below if you want to have a look at those. I share all of my Daisyweens on Instagram and in the Facebook group if you want to know that. I mean, there's honestly, there's too much information out there for you, so just run wild with it. But I assume if you're watching this video, you probably already know what's going on. And if you don't, it won't be hard to find some info, but I'm going to steal the voiceover for me and just have a chat about what's going on. I'm loving life right now. First of all, my brain is already in Australia. So that's where we're at. You know when you've got a really exciting something coming up and your brain and your heart and your emotion, your soul, everything is just already there. So that's where I feel like I've landed. But I'm also, and I'm so conflicted because I'm also really loving being in rehearsals and dancing again. So I'm equally split right now, but I can tell you none of my brain is inside me right now. It's either in Australia or it's in dance rehearsals. And so I've been feeling a little loopy, especially before I started this video. You should have seen me. I was trying to figure out if that view flips or if I'm looking at the real me. So I had my hand on my eye trying to figure out which was left, which was right. I still couldn't figure it out. My whole brain kind of imploded at that point. So I think I am looking the wrong way when I see the video back, but I'll just flip it so that it looks like I am looking down at the screen. Hello me drawing. Goodness, it's gonna be a mess. We've got 20 minutes together. I'm gonna take a sip of water because I'm really excited. This bottle is huge. I thought it was, says it's a gallon. No? What does this say? Yeah, 1 gallon. This is not a gallon. This is like more than that. I don't know gallons. I don't know ounces. I was just gonna say this is like a ton, which is not, I don't think that's a measurement of liquid. Anyway, let's move on. I just had lunch too, and I just had a massive watermelon drink. I have such a stomach ache. Does watermelon give people stomach aches, or is that just me? I've been testing it actually lately. I ate another it's not watermelon flavored things. It's like literal straight watermelon has just been giving me such bad stomach cramps. But I don't know if it's like an enzyme or something, and I really could Google it, but I'm not going to do that. I'll wait for you guys to diagnose me in the comments. Don't worry about it. You don't have to. I'm going to eat the watermelon anyway, so I was just curious. Okay, so let's start with what's going on. Daisyween I've been loving. Loving that I didn't go straight in with pen like I said I was going to in the beginning. Something about using the pencil, allowing myself to erase through it, and giving myself the time to do as much of it the way I want to do it as possible. Like it's just been so good. Now it has meant that I haven't been able to share it in a really structured way, even though I share daily the photos. You know, in times of old when we do challenges, I would like film every day or film a bunch and put them all together and you would see literally everything. That hasn't been the case this time because I have just been kind of gratuitous and selfish, and I just decided that I would give myself time and space to do them without the camera being on, because some of them I literally worked on for hours and hours and hours, and I did not mind at all, even though I didn't really have the time to be doing it. I felt like if I felt like this, I should do it, right? I tell people to do that, so I always have to, you know, practice what I preach. And then I added the minis in there, and I was loving doing the minis as well. It made me excited for when I was drawing the big ones to even think of how I would do the mini ones, and it's just been really, really fun. I say all of that to kind of bring in this point that, like, I think for a lot of challenges, I have been focused on the challenge of it, like the difficulty of doing it. Like, oh, it's a challenge because you've got to learn something, or it's a challenge because you've got to get through 31 of them, or it's a challenge for me because I've got to film them all, and I've got to voice over them all, and then share them all, and I've got to, you know, comment on everything that's happening. And that to me was also a part of the challenge of it. And I was really focused on the things that were difficult. Don't get me wrong, I think all of that's important, but I've spent many years focusing on what's difficult, that this year I think maybe all of that knowledge just being in there, like I'm already accepting how difficult things are. I'm already okay with knowing that it takes time and energy and patience and perseverance. Like I felt this year I could just focus on what was enjoyable about it. And what was more enjoyable to me was to spend more time doing it, more quiet, relaxed time doing it. So that has been really nice. And it's been interesting because I think this is the first time I've kind of shared from that place where if you're doing a challenge, that it's okay to spend tons of time on it. It's okay to be really laborious about your process. It's okay to kind of indulge in that and to enjoy, you know, seeking big results and going for it. Like, I think a lot of the focus I've also tried to be, and this is because I try to be helpful with what I'm saying a lot of the times too, right? I'm trying to anticipate if anyone's struggling, I want to speak to that person. But I feel like the person I'm speaking to this time is the person that's been like, no, I love challenges. I'm down for the challenge. You know, I want to really enjoy it. And so, not that people who struggle don't enjoy it, but I just, in my head, when I share from that place, I am sharing more like problem solving strategies to getting through challenges. And the intention is to help you get to the end. This time, I feel like the intention for me is just to share how much I enjoy like really indulging in it, which it just feels new for me. So that's nice. I've really enjoyed that. Pencil is definitely the way to go for me this year. Love that. And that means that we couldn't be too closely associated with the ink October challenge that we don't speak of. The reason I don't speak of that, if you think that's too cryptic, I really don't want to even say the name because like who knows how far they're going with it. I just remember, I think maybe a couple of years ago, they were going copyright claims after people, and it doesn't sound like a big deal. But if you do make money using your art, like just something you just want to avoid altogether. And I believe the copyright claims were to do with the logo. There's probably more to that story. As soon as I start seeing things like that, like artists going after each other for copywriting and stuff, I'm just like, not me, not my community, I'm out. So yeah, I tried not to get too involved. I love the drama of it all, but honestly, like it just felt too close to home because I definitely used that word on a book before, and I was like, I don't want to get in trouble. So, the end. Anyway, next thing I'm really excited about, we'll go chronologically, is dance rehearsals. They've been going amazing. For those of you who don't know, the long story is, how many years ago was it now? 7 years ago. In 2015, I got into a car accident. I was a dancer since I was like fresh out of high school. All those years before that, a professional dancer. Had to take a long time to recover and go through physical therapy and get back to a point where I could dance again, and then just didn't happen. And so throughout that period, I became a mixed media artist, which is where you're seeing me now, through JLB Creative and all the endeavors that were. Originally that started with digistamps and like handmade pennant flags. Can you believe that was going to be my business in the beginning? And no one bought any of those. I think I still have the Halloween one somewhere. Anyway, not the point, but that's how all this came to be. And ever since, I've always wanted to go back to dancing, but it just hasn't really worked out. And I went through years and years and years of just processing like the change and having this, not the change, I didn't go through menopause. My heart goes out to everyone that has though. The kind of change in career paths and what I was doing, and it's been a lot. And I think a lot of people knew, as much as I came on here and shared all the you know, my policy is to share scars, not wounds. No open wounds. We're not trauma dumping. We're not like inviting people into that process. That's just my own personal policy. But I think a lot of people knew that I really, really struggled for a long time because you know, a lot of my identity was found in who I was as a dancer, but also I just love dancing. I love dancing and performing, and I loved that career. I loved traveling. It's how I met my husband. And so I never really wanted to give that up. I never wanted to stop. And so for the longest time, I've been trying to go back to it. And I made every attempt that I could, and it just got really difficult. And then the pandemic happened. Obviously, there was no opportunity to do that. But throughout that, I kind of made a decision and was like, you know, I'm going to pursue this as hard as I would, you know, when I was 17, when I would like, I knew this is what I was going to do, and I was going to put all of my efforts towards it. When I'd go to rehearsals, I'd be like just killing myself to get it. Like, I'm going to put all that fire and zeal back into my, you know, my journey. And I did, and it's, you know, it did not happen straight away either. Like, there was still more rejection to come. But yeah, after 7 years, I was blessed to be offered a job dancing in the parade department at Disneyland, which, if you know, my husband works at Disneyland. He's an entertainer there. He's been a performer there for, I think, 12 years now. So he's very established there, and he was kind of showing me the ropes backstage, and I've been in rehearsals for it. I've never danced in a parade before. I've never worked at this Disneyland before. I did meet my husband back in Tokyo Disneyland, but it's a very different type of experience. And yeah, so I've just been loving it. I've been loving getting to be behind the scenes. I'm obviously not allowed to share any of that with you. But yeah, it's been a really, really incredible experience. And then to go back to dancing and to you know, I'll be dancing throughout the Christmas season in a parade at Disneyland, just to be hearing the Christmas music. I love Christmas. Christmas is my favorite time of year. To be hearing that music, to be dancing along to it, it's just so good. It's so good. It's so good, and I get way too geeked out for it, but I'm not even going to be embarrassed because I've waited so long, and not even just waited, but I've tried like my absolute best to make it happen. And I don't like hearing, you know, cliches like, oh, if you set your mind to it, you can do it, because honestly, I don't even know if that's true. But I can say in this case, yes, it took way more time than I ever wanted it to, but I am just so glad that it happened, because, you know, I would just ask, or I talk to Steve all the time. I used to just break down crying all the time, just being like, I don't know how much longer, like, I have to wait, or like, I believe that it'll happen again. I have faith that it'll happen again. I know I'm doing everything I can. I know I'm doing my best. And like, you know, even another part of the story, but like, I put on a lot of weight, like a lot of weight, to the point where I couldn't even really physically do what I was, you know, supposed to be capable of doing. And so it's been a long journey throughout the past year, even just to like lose a lot of that weight. And that has been a really big journey for me as well, because it's not something I ever find myself really successful at. Like, I've been on a yo-yo diet since I was 3 years old. Ask my mum, she's been on the same one. It's who I learned it from, actually. Don't tell her I said that. She better not watch this video, I swear. She stopped watching them, but I bet she'll watch this one. Be mad at me. Anyway, I shouldn't talk like that either. I don't think you're allowed to talk about diets on the internet anymore. Look, it's my relationship with my my journey, right? It can be my story. But I had to do a lot of work on that too. I think that's where a lot of the work that I was focusing on came from. But I was so lucky that I loved doing Zumba. And Zumba, to me, was my dance outlet for not having it for so long. And I love group fitness because I'm just really not motivated by myself. Although I've kind of gotten into it a little bit more, going for my walks, and I have my little 10-pound weights down there sometimes that I use. It's so funny. I YouTube, I sound like my mom. I YouTube dumbbell, like seated dumbbell weights for seniors, because honestly, that's the level that I'm at right now. It's nothing to snooze at. The 10 pounds are really hard. I can't believe it. I must be really weak right now, per my own standards. You guys do whatever you need to do. But yeah, it has been okay though, because I was lifting the girls the other day. We were doing this kind of like press lift, and I did not have to take a break. My shoulder didn't hurt. I managed to get them off the ground. So like, it must be okay. I don't think it's a good indicator of where I'm at, this lifting dumbbells in your seat for seniors video. Although I started at the bottom, you know, I learned a really valuable lesson years and years ago. No matter how good you think you are, if you're going on this journey to like really grow into something, it is never a bad thing to start right at the beginning. You can fast track yourself through the beginning, but to always start from the beginning is a good idea. So let's start from the very beginning. A very good place to start. Hi, Bee. The cats are awake. Anyway, so that is something that I'm loving, absolutely living for it. My legs are really sore. I am at an age, don't tell them this. Please don't tell anyone this on YouTube. I'm at an age where I feel a lot of the dancing kind of like residing in my body, maybe like hours afterwards. So it is more important for me to cool down. Anyone that's ever worked with me knows that warming up and cooling down was hate speech in my language when I was a dancer. So it's been a different kind of journey. And it's funny because I see Steve trying to make sure that I've done it as well. And I have the Theragun. Some people say those Theraguns don't do anything. Honestly, I think they're a miracle because they definitely get my body together. Maybe they're too young to experience the effects of it. But anyway, loving it. Thank you so much to everyone that just keeps going with. I know I wish I could share more with you. Like, I really want to share every single story, but I also want to keep my job, so you have to keep it a little bit sensitive. However, as soon as it all kind of happens, I'll let you know. At this point, we're still just dancing and rehearsing everything and learning the routines. So that is where I'm at, and I'm really loving it. Like, I literally practice right here when I'm whenever I feel like I've forgotten it. Because you know what I didn't know? I have to learn both sides, and that was just something that I've done that a long time ago, but it's been a long time since I've had to learn the same dance and know it on different sides. So flipping everything in my head I was trying to figure out what side this camera was on when I first, and my brain imploded. So it doesn't really work the best for me, but I think I've got a handle on it, and it'll be great. And it's all Christmas, and nothing could make me sad at Christmas. So that is good. Speaking of other things that are happening around Christmas, we've got about 5 minutes left. I think it should be good to share this chronologically. In a few weeks, I'll be in Australia. I'll be in Australia for my sister's wedding. I cannot believe she's getting married. I mean, I imagine she would, but this is my baby sister. Did my eyes just go cross-eyed? Sorry, I think my eyes tried to search for that memory back in my head. Anyway, she's my baby sister, and it's just a really big time. We went dress shopping when I was at home over Christmas last year, and so the time's actually come. Steve's going to shoot the wedding, so that's going to be crazy. I'll be kind of like in the bridal party, but also helping Steve shoot, but also being there for my sister. I guess it's going to be a lot. And then Stella is coming to do the makeup. So we're going on, like, Stella and I are going on a full Burke Aussie Christmas family vacation together. It's going to be hilarious. We're going to go Southwest Rocks and do all the things. If you've ever seen my Australia videos, obviously I'm going to try and film everything I can for you and share that. Another travel journal, woo! I haven't even finished my last one, but I fully anticipate just having the best time. I can't wait to see all my family. I can't wait to see my nieces and nephews. I can't wait to go to the beach. I can't wait to see Auntie. I can't wait to see everyone. And such a great reason to be going home and to be bringing, Steve and Stella. Steve's been to Australia once before with me, but I was in a moon boot recovering from surgery, so I wasn't the most active. We definitely did a lot of stuff, and I think he really enjoyed it, but it'll be nice to be super active this time. And Steve's never been to Southwest Rocks, and it's all I ever really talk about after my trips home, so I'm really excited to show him that. Stella has never been to Australia, and I think I'm just really excited for her to see the culture and how different it is here. See, my brain's already in Australia. I wanted to see how different Australia is to the States, because I try to pull as many comparisons as I can, but I think you can never really fully appreciate it until you're in the environment. So definitely want to take it to Westfields and just just have a good day there. I'm so stoked. I could not be more happy, honestly. And I'm not even one that, I don't think I need a vacation right now. I just really want it, and I'm really happy that it's coming. But all of that said, I do have to get Daisyween finished before that, because that's something I won't be taking with me, and I want to make sure that I have my hardcover book illustrated so that I can give that to Lige and bring it to our nephew Elijah. I want to bring that to Southwest Rocks and just let everyone color in it. I want my mom to color in a few pages. I want Lige to do it. I'll probably give Savannah a pencil and she can scribble all over it. But yeah, I just want to have that family kind of coloring book there, so that we can have that experience that I've been excited for this whole time. And it should be fantastic. We're going to go to the Hunter Valley as well. We want to see the Hunter Valley Christmas lights, which is classic. It's tradition. It's super expensive, but I think it's worth it because it's one of my favorite traditions. And yeah, could not be happier. Steve and I are both working Christmas as well this year, which I know sounds tragic for some people. I've worked a couple Christmases before, I think, on cruise ships. I think I worked one. That was a whole story, but I actually don't mind working on Christmas, and Steve and I will both be there together, and we'll still have the morning and the night, and probably be with Stella or someone. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, it will all be great. We'll talk more about Christmas around Christmas time, but that's what's happening with me. That's what I'm loving. Oh, it's been so good to share all of that with you. It's kind of been pent up. I think now I can relax and do the next voiceover without all this energy that I had. But I've been so excited for all of it, and do you know what? I'm really aware of how, what a great season I'm in, and I'm just really trying to milk every single experience, and I'm just loving it. So thank you for being here for that. This is the Daisyween Minis video. Like I said before, all of the information that you need for anything you might want to find out is in the description box. And until next time, yeah, until the next video. I believe you'll see this, and then I'll have a Halloween photo journal vlog from Oogie Boogie Bash. I'll see you then. Bye.